You ain't gotta say too much. Can you sit down real quick? Now, can we, you and me, say to the audience that I did tell Ashante do not let Jaheim come back over her house, and that she need to make him pay for a hotel room because he did not mean her no good and he could not do anything for her or her kids.
Daddy.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. My nose itching. But yes, that's really all I wanted you to say. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
But yeah, so after all that, she still let the dude come over her house. And I gave her like a whole 2-hour lecture. Literally, I gave her a whole 2-hour lecture. And Thursday, he coming over. So my aunt Yanni, she probably married already. She already married now because it's October. But while she was in her rollout to her marriage or to her wedding, she had invited me to her bridal shower in the park, and it was on Saturday. So Friday came around, and you know, me, Tay-Tay, my baby daddy, and our kids is all chilling in the house. Now, something had ended up happening at Dion's mama house where his brother had stole his money out his wallet, and Dion was mad and wanted to square up with his brother. So to avoid conflict, Tay-Tay told him to come over back to the apartment for, I guess, a night, and then he can go back. You know, I don't really know, but this is the last little part. So, oh my God, that cup is hot as hell. I cannot drink that. So yeah, my aunt bridal shower was the day before D'Anthony's birthday. So Friday, Dion ended up coming over Tay-Tay's house. Now, it was Dion, his son Jabari, and my niece Lonnie. So those are the two kids that Tay-Tay made Dion take with him to his mama house to live with him while she kept the twins in honor. And cool. So they come over Friday, all the cousins playing, having a ball, grand old time. We having a good time, you know, everybody like chilling, vibing. You know, Dion and my baby daddy, they get along. So it was no issue, it was no tension, it was no nothing. It was cool. We all vibing. We doing what grown folks do. We kicking, politicking, and the kids is in the back listening to music, jamming, playing, and we every hour somebody go back there and check on them. And this is what was going on Friday. So Saturday come, me, D'Anthony, and my baby daddy leave all Saturday. The whole Saturday we was gone cause my auntie bridal shower at the park. We had a grand old time. It was a little uncomfortableness, little family drama going on over there. Cause me and my family not seeing eye to eye because I done went and aired Kiwana and her daughter out on my YouTube channel, and you know I'm getting my justice in whichever way I see fit. So I'm just like not really giving a fuck about my daddy and his girlfriend because they showed up, and that's what made it messy. But I didn't care because at the end of the day I had a good time. I showed my auntie support, and that's just what it was. And so I'm talking about I was getting drunk at her bridal shower. What? I'm talking about who? I don't miss an opportunity to drink because that's not how I choose to deal with my problems. On a day-to-day basis, I don't choose to drink on a day-to-day basis. I choose to drink chia seed water and drink tea and try to do meditation and try to go work out and try to take long walks to lower my cortisol levels, because that is something that affects BPD, which is bipolar disorder, having high cortisol level. I used to like drink and smoke a lot, like real bad, but then as I started to understand how to help myself and how to live a healthy lifestyle and how to reverse my mental health through healthy life choices, that's when I started to slow down on smoking and slow down on drinking. And it even got to a point where I like stopped drinking for like a whole year, and I would only like, I had a smoke schedule where I would only smoke certain times out of the day, and it wouldn't be like multiple blunts a day. So it was like I was trying to stop smoking, but I was trying to do it in a way that was convenient for me and in my best fit, which was slow down. I went from smoking like 9-10 blunts a day to I only smoke like 1 or 2 a day, and that's because of now who I'm around. But when I'm in my own world and I have my own environment where I control everything, I usually only smoke like 1 blunt a day, and it's like I'll break it down with like half in the morning, half at night, and that's literally how I, regulate my vices. And so being in a situation where everything is stressful and I'm trying to stay positive and stay grounded and not lose my marbles, yes, I did get drunk this day at my auntie bridal shower. I was feeling good. I was feeling real good. So when we got back to Tay house, Dion and the kids was not there, meaning Dion, J-Bar, and Jaylani was not at the house no more. They was gone. So we come back to the house. Tay cleaning up. I'm talking about cleaning up. And I'm talking about you can smell the fabuloso as soon as you open the front door. And I'm sitting here like, Tay don't even clean up. I'm the one who clean up your apartment. So I knew it was something that was going on right there because Tay never cleaned up. And the only time I've seen her clean up is when a dude is coming over. So I didn't say nothing off rip. I wanted to see if she was going to say something to me because, mind you, I was drunk, so I wasn't really, like, peeping. I wasn't really on my P's and Q's like I usually am when I'm around Tay and trying to scope out her foolishness and got to keep my head on the swivel for what she not paying attention to. This day, I was not on that because I really was just, like, trying to stay positive. My son's birthday was tomorrow. I was planning on having a wonderful day. And I just wanted to just be positive. And, shoot, when I be drunk, I be feeling good. I be happy. So we get back in the house, feeling good, sauced up. Tay playing music, cleaning up. I'm like, okay, I don't give a fuck. I'm playing with my son, talking to my nieces and shit. And that's when Tay like, oh, Jaheim coming over tonight. And I'm like, Jaheim coming over tonight? And she like, yeah, I just wanted to let you know because I know Dion was over here earlier. And I just, wanted you to know before he showed up. And I was like, okay, it's not going to be no is it? And she like, no, Dion left. And he left earlier. He left around 4 or 5 o'clock. I made him leave early. And he was mad because I made him leave and go back to his mama house. But he not finna stay over here all weekend. And I'm like, okay, girl. But what Tay forgot to mention to me was her and Dion was arguing via text message. And she had suspected that Dion stole the key to her front door. Mind you, Tay had 2 keys to her front door. I had a copy. She had a copy. She took Dion's copy from him and kept it. And then I had my own personal copy. Tay, in the middle of telling me Jaheim was coming over and she made Dion leave, she did not tell me that her and Dion was arguing via text message because she had speculated that he stole the key to the front door because she couldn't find it while she was in the middle of cleaning up. That is where Tay was being selective about telling the truth. So that is what was going on behind scenes that me and my baby daddy was unaware of at the time. So it's like me and my baby daddy, we get back to Tay house late at night. So it's like 9 o'clock at night while Tay cleaning up and drinking wine and playing music. So, I'm passing out sweets and stuff. I done brought plates home from the event, and I'm feeding my nieces and my son, and I done gave Tay cake and cupcakes and all type of stuff. I'm one of them people where if people giving away food, I'm going to take it because I always know somebody that's hungry. And that was just literally what was going on. So, yeah. After that, I'm feeling real good because I done ate again. I'm already drunk. I done probably got zooted again. So now I'm ready to go to sleep. So, yes, I'm like, D'Anthony, let's lay down. Let's go to bed. So, we lay down. We go to bed. Baby daddy lay down. He go to bed. And when we lay down, it's music playing in the house. Like, it's music going all around in the house. So, we lay down, we go to sleep. Now, somewhere along there, I guess Tay turned the music off in the apartment because her kids were asleep. And this is when shit got wicked. So, like I said, me and my baby daddy and my son was sleep in the living room. My baby daddy was sleep on the couch by the window, by the front door. And I was sleep in the bed with D'Anthony. And D'Anthony is one of those kids where he wiggle a lot in his sleep and he move around a lot. And D'Anthony the type where he'll wake up in the middle of the night and will get in shit because everybody else is asleep. And so I have to sleep light because of that. So D'Anthony kept wiggling. And I was like, D'Anthony, be still, D'Anthony. And so while I'm saying, D'Anthony, be still, all I heard is, boom. Thought I was motherfucking playing with your ass? I'm laying in the bed, and this is what I hear. So at that point, I already knew what was up, because I heard the next thing after the boom, and you thought I was playing with your motherfucking ass? I heard, chill, chill. And I heard Tay-Tay and Jaheim, and they had apprehension in their voice. They sound scared in the motherfucker. Baby, when I tell you, I jumped up so fast out that bed. Like, when I tell you my instincts kicked in immediately. I jumped up. I just like, it was okay. So mind you, we in the living room. It's dark. It's pitch black. Like, usually the living room is never even like this, because the kitchen light is always on. The kitchen stove light is always on. But this particular night, it was not on, which I now can assume that Dion was the one who turned it off. I don't know, but that's my assumption. Bruh, when I tell y'all, I jumped up out that bed and I yelled whisper. I was like, hey, find the phone. Like, that's literally what I did when I jumped out the bed, because my baby daddy was on the other side of the living room and it's dark. I wear glasses. I can't see. And my brain is low-key still foggy. So I'm like, where the fuck is the phone? Usually I always have my phone under my pillow, but this night, I told y'all I was feeling good, so I didn't even know what my phone was. I'm telling my baby daddy, hey, find the phone. Like, whisper, yelling it to him. And we looking around in the dark for the phone. And all I hear is Dion popping his shit. You can hear Dion popping his shit like, bitch ass nigga, you thought I was motherfucking playing with you, bitch ass nigga? You thought I wasn't gonna catch your ass, bitch ass nigga? And then I heard, is you protecting this nigga? Get the fuck away from this nigga. And so I guess me and my baby daddy was making too much noise in the living room looking for the phone, running around. So that distracted Dion. And Dion, like, he stopped talking to try to listen to what me and my baby daddy was doing. Mind you, the whole living room was pitch black. The only light that I could see was coming from the back room behind that kitchen door that lead to the bedroom and the bathroom. You could see the light coming out of Tay-Tay room through the hallway. And that is the only light that was shining in the whole living room. And it wasn't a big light. It was just like how you crack a door and you can see like a little bit of light right there. And it was like right there by the refrigerator. It wasn't in the living room area. So Dion is trying to host a shootout or pop his shit in a shootout, and also be on the lookout for what me and my baby daddy waking up. But we was already woke, but he couldn't see what we was doing because it was dark, and that was our saving grace, because it really could have turned into a stick up. So in the midst of Dion getting distracted for those 0.5 milliseconds trying to see what me and my baby daddy doing, and he can't see in the living room, as he's turning back around to handle Jaheim and Tay-Tay, that gave Jaheim enough time to pick up his gun. According to Tay-Tay, she said that Dion had the gun pointed at Jaheim, and she slid over from where she was on the bed to like stand in front of Jaheim. And she said that pissed Dion off because Dion saw that as Tay-Tay trying to protect Jaheim. And I told y'all that's when I heard him say, you trying to protect this nigga? Move. But in the middle of him trying to hurry up and shoot Jaheim, me and my baby daddy distracted Dion because we making noises trying to look for the phone to call the police. And that nigga took his eyes off Jaheim for just a couple of milliseconds, and that allowed Jaheim to bend down and get his gun off the floor. Rule number one, why the fuck is your gun on the floor? Why the fuck is your gun in the middle of the bedroom floor and you on the bed laying down playing with your phone? And according to Tay-Tay, Dion had texted her and Jaheim and told them that he was on the way over there, and that nigga Jaheim said, well, come on. And the nigga come through the door, guns are blazing, and you caught on your ass lacking? What? You cannot make this up. This is a grown-ass man who is fighting over his family, and you just trying to get an ego boost. Y'all are not in it for the same things. This man is not playing with you. He not playing with you. So, next thing you know, all I hear is boop, 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 boop. And it was like the first gunshot. And what makes it so crazy was, as soon as my baby daddy was able to turn on the light in the living room so we could actually look for the phone, it's like he turned on the light, we made eye contact. As soon as me and my baby daddy made eye contact, all you heard was BOW! And I was standing right there, and see, my baby daddy was standing by the window by the front door. But the window that he was standing by was literally right next to my desk, which was right next to the bed that DeAnthony was laying on in the corner. My bed was in a corner behind the wall that is behind the kitchen. So DeAnthony on the bed, my baby daddy is at the end of the bed by the lamp and the desk, because he just turned the light on. And I'm standing not necessarily at the head of the bed, but I'm standing in that threshold between the kitchen and the living room, right in front of the door where Dion is standing behind shooting. So I'm only like 1 feet away from Dion behind the door in the hallway shooting at Jaheim. So according to Tay-Tay, Jaheim bust first because Dion was still distracted with trying to see what me and my baby daddy doing in the living room. So when Jaheim bust at Dion jumped back and bust at Jaheim. Now the difference is Jaheim hit the ground when he got shot. Dion took the fuck off running. Now, what I did not know was when my fight or flight instinct kicked in, this not even fight or flight, when my survival instincts kicked in, because let me tell y'all, it was a lot of things happening at one time. When the first shot rang, it was immediately after my baby daddy turned on the living room light. When the second shot rang, that's when I realized, Shanteria, if you don't fucking move, you might end up getting shot, because Dion is right behind this door. And by that third shot, I was in a space of, it was like, okay, so in between that first and second shot, it was like my brain was moving so fast, it was like, fuck my baby. Then it was like, fuck my life. Then it was like, who more important? And then when I saw my baby daddy, like, by that third shot, my baby daddy jumped. Like, it wasn't even the third shot. Like, when I tell you, it was like, bup, 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 bup. It was like 5-6 shots that went off at one time. Like, they was back to back to back. However, as I'm sitting back and looking at how it happened in slow motion, that first shot went off when that living room light came on. When that second shot went off, I was trying to figure out who life was more important to save, my son's or mine. Because mind you, I told y'all I was in that threshold right there between the living room and the kitchen. My son was right in, like, literally right here in the bed, but up against the wall. His daddy was at the end of the bed, at the foot of the bed. So while I'm thinking about who's more important to save, or who should I grab DeAnthony, because I'm thinking if I try to grab him, that's not going to be enough time for us to make it out the door with how many gunshots is going off. So, like, when I tell you my brain was processing shit so fast, all I know was by that third shot, I saw my baby daddy leaping over the bed to grab DeAnthony. And when I saw my baby daddy leaping for DeAnthony, I just started taking off for the front door. And I remember the door was locked. I had to unlock the top and the bottom because I couldn't get out. And I remember as I was unlocking the top and the bottom, my feet was shaking so fast. It was like my legs were still moving, but I couldn't go nowhere because the door wouldn't open. So as I'm opening the door, I'm running. The shots is still ringing. I'm thinking Dion and the nigga still shooting at each other. But as I turn around and like, hell no, I'm not leaving my baby. Like, I'm talking about, I got right to the steps And I got right to that top step, and I literally like, fuck no, and turned all the way around. And as soon as I turned all the way around, I saw Dion running, boom, boom, boom. I'm talking about this nigga had gun in hand, no face mask on, no nothing. Backpack on, like, nigga running full sprint up a hill. That's jump. I'm sitting here like, when I tell you, I'm looking at Dion run full sprint, like jump over the hill. Like the cow jumped over the moon in this motherfucker. I tell y'all, I was stuck for a second because I really saw that gun in Dion's hand, and the look on Dion's face was a look of determination to get away. And I was like, that nigga did not come to play. And it was like, once I came out of the days of seeing Dion running for his life to get away from this crime scene, I was able to register, okay, the danger is gone. So I ran back in the house after I seen Dion running away. I ran back in the house. I locked the door. I grabbed my phone. I'm trying to call the ambulance. I'm crying. I'm screaming Tay-Tay name because at this point, I'm trying to figure out, is everybody okay? Because we don't even hear nothing. Like, my baby daddy and DeAnthony is sitting in the living room on the bed. The door where the kid that separates the living room from the back room, that door is closed. You don't hear nothing. Dead silence. That freaked me the fuck out. I was already crying. I started hyperventilating, and only thing I could think of, my nieces and my nephew. My nieces and my nephew. Like, I ain't even remember that Bari and Lonnie not even in the room. That it's literally just the twins and Anna in there. And I'm just crying. I'm calling the police. They got me on hold. My baby daddy is like just staring at me. Him and my son just looking at me, crying my eyes out like, I told this girl don't bring that nigga over here. I told her stop fucking with that nigga. I told her to leave her baby daddy alone. I kept telling her. She thought this shit was a game. Like, I was going off. I was like going on a full-fledged rant. I'm talking about crying, tears, snot coming out my eyes. Snot coming out my nose. I'm talking about the snot going in my mouth. I did not care. I was literally like losing it because I am in the space of, I do not have the mental stability to go back there and see if everybody is alive. And I remember when that police officer lady said 911, what's your emergency? I fucking bust into tears. I couldn't even, it was like I couldn't even get my words all the way out. She was like, ma'am, can you come down? I said, I think the boy is in the room shot. I said, I don't know if they dead. I said, nobody not responding to me. I'm calling everybody name. I said, it was just a shootout in the home. And then that's when they started asking where I live. And I'm telling them I stay in Etheridge, just the apartment number, and they like, can you give us the address to the apartments, not the apartment's name? So I'm giving them and they like, can you tell us what happened? I'm like, my sister baby daddy came over here, snuck in the house in the middle of the night, and he done caused a shootout between her and the side dude. And you know, it's kids in the house, it's my son's birthday. Like, I'm literally like, she's like, and where's your sister? I'm like, I don't know. I keep calling her name, she not responding to me. So now I'm crying harder because I'm thinking my sister dead. Because when I tell you I called Tay-Tay name for like 5 minutes straight, I just straight up just kept screaming, Tay-Tay, are you okay? Tay-Tay, are you okay? Tay-Tay, are you okay? I was like, that's the only words that could come out my mouth. And when I realized that nobody is not responding, and my best bet is to just call the ambulance and let them come and figure out what's going on behind this door, that's when, like, yeah, I was just out of it. I was literally like, and what makes it so crazy is I was the only one that was crying. My baby daddy was calm. My son was calm. My son just kept saying, Mommy, are you okay? That's all he kept saying. He was laughing, and every time he heard me crying, and he would just sit there for a minute, he would just look at me crying. I tell y'all, I cried for like 3 hours straight. This shit not a joke. Shit is not a joke. I was crying the whole time the police was there. I was crying, like straight bawling my eyes out. And by the time the police got there, you know, they come guns pointing, blazing, and that's even more bad for my nerves because This shit was crazy. And they got guns pointed at us at the door, and me and my baby daddy and my son got to come outside with our hands up because I just reported a shootout in the home. And I told them the shooter is gone, but the other dude is still here, and I think he been shot because he not responding to nothing that I'm saying either. And yeah, like I said, they got there, they pointing out their guns at us, and it was like 10 police officers, and they all had guns in their hand, and they was all like around surrounding my sister's apartment, like straight up and down. So that was very scary for me to have to see that, and my son, and it was just like a lot. And I'm very sensitive, so that was a lot for me. And so yeah, so police get there, they asking me what happened. I'm telling them the boy is still in the house. The boy is shot. The boy is still in the house. I don't know if my niece is alive in the bed, in the room. They like, it's other people in the house. I'm like, yes. It's 3 little girls, it's a grown man, and my sister. And I don't know if any of them is alive because nobody not responding to me, and that's why I called the police, because I'm not going back there to go see no dead people. And they was like, okay, ma'am. So some of the police officers stayed in the front. The other ones went to the back, and they was asking me, did I know if the dude had a weapon? I said, I presume he did because I heard gunshots going back and forth. And they was like, okay. So they asked me what happened, and I told them the same thing I just told y'all. This was bound to happen because it's been something that's been leading up for like the last 3-4 months. And yep, I gave them Dion name and I gave them Tay name, but they was able to get Jaheim name on his own because he left his wallet when they had to cut him out his clothes because of his wound. They left his wallet in Tay apartment, and when me and my baby daddy found it, yes, we went through his wallet. No, it was not no money in there. But I did see his chime card, and his chime card had his name on it, and it said Jaheim Cunningham. That's how I know that nigga name. So yeah. They go in there, they looking for everybody. They bring the kids out the room first. They bring Anna out, they bring the twins out. And they like, can you change their diapers? They took their diaper off. You know, the kids, they kids, middle of the night, they waking up out their sleep. Tay didn't change their diaper before they went to bed. Probably left it on them all day. So by the time the police got there after the shootout, they diapers soaking fucking wet, and they done took the liberty of taking it off themselves. So now TT changing diapers and stuff, and I'm trying to figure out what Tay at. Tay is not in the house at all. Tay is not in the house at all. They said only Jaheim was in the back on the floor. I said, well, where my sister at? And that's when I found out from one of the police officers that she on the back side of the building sprawled out on the concrete with a sprained ankle or a broken bone. That's what they thought. But she had called the police too. And so, yeah, it's just like, dag. Y'all really had to shoot the apartment up and shoot up the spot over some coochie? That's crazy. And the issue was already brewing because in my mind this was all Tay fault. But what really made me be really pissed the fuck off at Tay and did not feel sorry for her at all was after the police came back from dealing with Tay and the ambulance got there, they come to me and say, your sister told us that you and your baby daddy opened the door for her baby daddy to get in. I said, what? Excuse me? I did what again? He said your sister reported that you and your baby father opened the door for her baby father to get in. I said, when my baby daddy was asleep, we woke up after her baby daddy kicked in the door and was holding him at gunpoint, and that's when I woke up and told my baby daddy to call the police and let's look for the phone in the dark. We didn't even know that her baby daddy was on the way over here because he was just over here yesterday and he left earlier yesterday. So we didn't know that any of this was going on, and that's when it came out that Dion was texting Tay and they was arguing back and forth, and him and Jaheim was arguing leading up to him breaking into the apartment. And Tay, she changed her story. After first she told them that me and my baby daddy opened the door to the front door to let Dion in. Then after I told the police, that's a motherfucking lie, because me and my baby daddy didn't wake up until after her baby daddy was already in, holding them at gunpoint. That's when they went back and talked to her, and that's when she came out and started telling the truth. Now, mind you, I told y'all it's like 10 police officers, so she telling different police officers different things. They all trying to write a report on it too. So one police officer told me what she said about me and my baby daddy opening the door. But then the other police officer was like, hey, your other sister is coming over here to come and get the kids for Ashante, because she got to go to the hospital because she's injured. So can you get the kids ready, pack their bags and stuff or whatever? I said, okay. So they told me that me and my baby daddy could not leave until after they officially got the whole report together and got all the names and got all the evidence that they needed. So me and my baby daddy, we didn't get to leave the apartment. We didn't leave till like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, on God, we didn't leave Tay apartment till 5 o'clock in the morning. So while I'm getting the bags ready for the kids to go with Savannah. Now y'all gonna know who Savannah is in another story time, but she is very important too, because she is the reason why I ended up having a psychosis. And actually she is the reason for what I'm naming my EP too, because I am going to drop an EP, but I'm not going to tell y'all the name yet until I start advertising my singles and at least create a visual and stuff first. But I want to start with the main part, which is what drove me crazy, how I deal with my crazy, and then now y'all can see the fruits of my labor. So we just started off with story times. But anyways, yeah, so Savannah get there. Savannah, she like, are you okay, Shanteria? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And she like, let me help you get the kids ready and stuff. So we getting the kids ready. Now the other sister show up. Imani, this the one who threatened to shoot me. The other sister, Letitia, show up. So now they all there, and they funny acting. That's what made it even more uncomfortable, because we in the middle of a real life situation and y'all still acting funny. And it was just, I didn't want to be around that shit. And they all arguing over what they think happened. Being messy. I already saw the messy shit started, because it was like nobody didn't even take it serious for real. So they all speculating what happened. So I'm like, at the end of the day, none of this is not funny, because Tay knew what was going on and she tried to play lost and confused. And I kept telling her, don't let Jaheim come over here, because he entertaining Dion instead of making the proper safety precautions for himself and the safety precautions for herself. They chose to entertain it like it was funny, like that boy not 2 screws loose already and his elevator don't already go to the top. So Imani like, oh, she probably felt like she didn't have to respect Dion because it's her apartment and she could let anybody in. I said, even if she don't have to respect Dion, she got children that she taking care of, and putting your children living situation and everything that you work so hard to accumulate for your children's stability is not okay to put up in a situation like this. Like, you put everything that you work hard for at risk for a nigga that can't even give you some money or want to kill a spider for you. Girl, boo. Girl, a boo. So respectfully, get out of here with that. I don't want to hear that. So I instantly got irritated with Imani, because I'm like, you a dumb bitch. I expect dumb bitches to think like this. Birds of a feather flock together. That's why y'all hoes be beefing and then be back friends again. I don't fuck with shit like that. You stupid, so I can see why you think like that. And I really do think she's stupid. I'm just like, hell no. So they like, are you gonna go over mama house? And I'm like, no, I'm not going over mama house, because I already got banned from my mama apartments for Savannah swinging on me and ended up getting her nose busted. So yeah, I couldn't go there, so I have no choice but to go to a hotel room with my son and my baby father, and that's literally what ended up happening. We ended up going to a hotel room after that. But yes, that whole thing was wild. But the part that really blew my mind before me and my baby daddy ended up leaving that night with D'Anthony was when I went to go see and check on Ashante, because I wanted to make sure she was okay and just see her with my own eyes, because I was really sad that even came to that, and I thought something had actually happened to her, and I thought she was dead. Like, I thought everybody was dead. I thought everybody dead. When I tell you, I was crying my heart out. Like, I was crying so hard. I was crying so hard. I was shaking. I was crying so hard because I thought my nieces and my sister was dead. And my baby daddy and my son is a witness to that. Just for that bitch to turn around and tell me that it's not a big deal. That's what she said while she was in the hospital. Well, after she had got out. So let me finish this last little 5 minutes. So after I finished packing the kids' bag, I packed Tay-Tay a bag and stuff like that, me and Savannah and E-Money. I go to where Tay-Tay at in the ambulance, and I go talk to her, and Tay-Tay is spilling all the beans to the ambulance lady, like showing her text messages where Dion basically was telling her, oh, I'm on the way over there. And that's when it came out that her and Dion was arguing over the key to her apartment, and that's when it came out that he stole the key to her apartment, and he broke in her apartment in the middle of the night. Yeah. Yeah. I was able to catch that. As soon as I walked up to the ambulance, that's what she was explaining to the EMT. That he stole the key to her apartment and broke into her apartment while everybody was asleep. And I'm sitting here like, you telling the EMT the truth and you showing them the text messages, but you ain't telling the police that. She didn't even tell the police Dion's whole name. She didn't even tell them. I was sitting here like, this girl is really retarded, because you saying that Jaheim is innocent, but you also trying to protect Dion's identity in the situation. Like, whose side are you on? I'm confused. And I'm sitting here like, I got to get the fuck away from her and never come back around her. At that point, why I feel like it was a bug on me. Oh, I don't know. So yeah, I'm just saying like, that's crazy. So at this point, I'm really like shell shocked. Like, Tay-Tay went and told the police that, man, my baby daddy opened the door for her baby daddy, and they wrote it in a police report. But she telling the EMT that he broke into the apartment because he stole her key when he was over on when he came over there that Saturday. Then it came out after me and my baby daddy left. We was on the phone with Tay-Tay because she called me in the middle of the night. And no, she called me at 9 o'clock in the morning, and she said that Jaheim was released from the hospital, and she was too, and that they had went back to the apartment or something, and Jaheim went back for his wallet, and he didn't have no money in his wallet. So Tay-Tay called me asking that me and my baby daddy take the money, and I'm like, shit, the police probably did, to be honest, because they known for that. I done got robbed, swiped a couple of times by police officers when I'm in a situation where I'm being detained or something. Yeah, they'll swipe you quick, so security card and all. So I'm like, maybe the police stole his stuff. And she like, did you see my wine and my black? And I said, yes, I took it. I took your wine and I took your black, because after what happened last night, I most definitely needed it. And I guess that made her catch an attitude, but she started like talking and explaining herself, and I told her, Tay-Tay, I don't care about nothing you have to say. I said, because at the end of the day, you put everybody's life in danger because you thought it was cute for two dudes to be arguing over you, and it wasn't. And now you about to be in a situation where you about to get evicted out your apartment and all this other stuff, and that's where you and your kids gonna go. And you know, I'm telling her all this, and I'm like, this happened on my son's birthday. Like, this is like, I'm really upset that my son had to witness a shootout for his 3rd birthday. Like, that's not cool to me. That's not okay at all. I mean, yeah, he thugging it and he didn't cry or nothing like that, but respectfully, no child should not have to be traumatized like that, because trauma show up in different ways. PTSD show up in different ways, and because he's so young, you never know how it can affect his nervous system. So I'm just sitting here like, bruh, like, I'm in my mind now, like, I really want to fight Tay-Tay. Like, I really want to fight her. But I'm just like, you know, I'm just keep my distance and respectfully leave that alone. But she was like, oh, Shanteria, you really doing too much because it's not even that serious. And I said, Tay-Tay, you don't take shit serious. You don't even take your own life serious. So I can't expect you to take my life and my child life serious when you choose to sit up and use sex as a coping mechanism for all your problems and use excuses for why you can't do shit besides stay on your back. So I hung up the phone on her after that. And that was the end of me and Tay-Tay. And I told her respectfully, when I remove my stuff out your apartment, I will give you your key back. And that was that on that. But Tay could not deal with me respectfully choosing to leave her the fuck alone, because Tay started trying to start stuff with me, like petty stuff. Trying to make police reports saying I stole the toilet seat out her apartment and I stole all her kids' shoes. And I'm like, girl, I'm living on the college campus. What do I need your toilet seat for when it's like 1,000 bathrooms on campus where I could just all day? Stop playing with me. What Lil Wayne say? I got 10 bathrooms, I can all day, nigga. And we don't want no problems. Okay, what's a goon to a goblin? Yeah, I can't on up there. Honestly, but I on the street. Oh, now pop that. Hey, bring up to my bedroom and pop that. Yeah, you don't want no problem. Oh, it's okay, all right. Okay. Well, anyways, yes, that shit was crazy. But honestly and truly, I just had to put that out there because that whole experience was the start of my PTSD being triggered and me having to fight for my life and my sanity. And did I lose the fight to my sanity? Yes, I lost it for a couple of weeks. But the thing that I will say, and I will keep saying to myself whenever I go through these flashbacks from what I said and what I did, I am very proud of myself because in all my psychotic experiences, I've always ended up going to jail and catching a charge, or ended up in a psych ward in a padded room being forced to take a whole bunch of medicine. And these are facts. This has been going on since 2018, since I had my very first psychotic episode. But yes, again, like, comment, and subscribe to my video. And you guys can share it as well. And leave a heart at the bottom if you don't have anything to say. And I appreciate you anyways, always. Ta-ta!